Listen, we ask and we receive. But depending on who you're asking and depending on their motive, you're going to receive something different. So, like, y'all know how our history books and our textbooks were written by the winners, like the folks who got the power. And if you're telling a certain narrative, like, what's that quote? It's like something like, the lion is always, or the hunter is always going to tell a different victory story than the lion, or something like that. But basically what I'm saying is, I've been noticing folks are, instead of praying, instead of going to God, instead of journaling, instead of meditating, instead of going to a mentor or a counselor or somebody to advise us, a shaman, somebody, folks are turning to AI just because there's no other, I guess there's just, they feel they don't have like a human. But I think what's even more powerful than asking another human for advice or guidance or wise counsel or direction, I think we could ask God. And for me, God is truth. For me, God is, you know what I mean? God is that energy that connects all of us. God is water. You know, water being something that is everywhere, right? It's in the air when there's humidity. It's in the sky. It's in our ground and groundwater. You know, it's in all of us. So water is everywhere. So it's that type of thing. It's like the truth that is just always present and always there. That everlasting, omnipotent, omnipresent. Did I say omnipotent? Omnificent. Just all-knowing, all everything, right? Just like water. And to me, that's what God is, right? God is not like a soul entity. Like, God doesn't have an ego, let's say. So God is not in a human vessel or anything. We are the vessels. We are the containers of fractions, I guess, of God. And so I feel like when we just tune into that frequency, we get everything that we need, because that water is connected to everything, you know what I mean? So, and water holds memory, water stores memory. And so every possible solution, like, humans have gone through, like, there's no question that you can ask that can't be answered by this God force. Because, like, if you think about it, if ChatGPT is giving you a whole bunch of answers, data, and stuff like that, how correct do you think, like, where's ChatGPT getting all that from? Is ChatGPT greater than God? Like, I understand that maybe the intuition and the discernment has to be there, right? Like, let's say, okay, for example, if you have a jar of water and there's a bunch of mud, there's sticks, twigs, you know, tadpoles, there's a bunch of stuff in it, and you shake it around, that stuff is going to be shaken all the time. So if that jar is constantly shooken up, then there's never going to be clarity. So even if you sit down for a moment and not shake the jar and just still yourself and not let more stimulus come in, more contaminants come in, let's say you're actively working to purge everything out, you also have to be still, and it'll naturally start to clear itself. But it does take a while. And so even if you do one meditation, you're still going to be a little agitated. Like, when folks go to meditate and they're like, well, I'm still having thoughts, I'm still doing this, I'm still doing that. The goal isn't necessarily to even have no thought, because that's literally not possible, right? There's always going to be something for our minds. Our minds are always going to be tapped in, tuned in to something. And with the Vipassana meditation that I learned about, you're tuned in, like, you're training your mind, because your mind is always going to want to do something. So you give it a task. And so the task is basically to, like, tune into your body, tune into your sensations, and tune into your body, tune into your sensations, and focus your mind on your breath, and you can ground yourself into the present moment that way, and you can invite stillness into your life that way. But so back to the jar analogy. If someone who has never meditated, let's say life is chaotic, like life is pretty chaotic and hectic, just how it is, just by itself. So it does take a while for us to really let all the detritus and the debris, to let it settle, so that what's left over is just water. And then we can work on purifying that water. And that looks like having thoughts that aren't dangerous, that aren't spreading, that aren't like, you're not thinking negatively about people, you're not wishing ill will on people, you're not feeling jealous and comparing, you don't have any hatred. And so, we can still the debris, we can relax the debris. You're not having thoughts of, speaking of still, it's STILL, you're not having thoughts of stealing, STEAL. You're not having thoughts of harming anybody. Instead, you're having thoughts of forgiveness, of allowing forgiveness, of forgiving others, of peace, bliss, calm, prosperity, not greed, right? So being content, and all those beautiful, pure thoughts. That's what happens in clear water, And I'm going to continue this video another time, but basically, like, what I'm saying is, I think we should consider asking God and just sitting still. Like, once you clear your own waters, you'll have the better answers. Because, like, think about it. If your jar is all shaken up and then you ask ChatGPT, you don't have clarity. You don't have that discernment to be able to know what you should or shouldn't do. There's just so much happening. You're frazzled, right? And we go to ChatGPT, and then how do we know that that's sound advice? It's two ways, right? How are we going to know what to do with that information? Like, how are we going to know that we're using it wisely with a clear mind if our minds aren't even clear? Secondly, these apps are not neutral. Like, these apps don't come without consequence. Like, these apps are created by companies that are okay funding military complexes and funding like mass surveillance and just collecting massive amounts of data on humans for the purpose of destruction. So for the purpose of manipulation and furthering their control. And that stuff is just not on the best frequency anyway. So, like, tapping into that when you could easily just like journal about it, pray about it, and just try to get the answer from within. Like, there's truth within us. Like, true reality is within us, like, it's not artificial. It's very natural. And to me, it's just a little disheartening and saddening to know. I saw that there's even toys that are encouraging the kids to have these little robot friends where they can talk to them, and they're AI generated, connected to Wi-Fi. Some of them have cameras, they obviously have microphones because you can talk back and forth. And that type of thing is just like kind of tragic, kind of scary. But it is what it is. But anyway, just some food for thought. Let me know what y'all think about this. So my whole thing is, pray about it. Don't ask ChatGPT. But leave me a like if you like this video, so that more people can come across this content and see how I'm thinking. And comment and subscribe to the channel. Thank you guys. May you be peaceful, blissful, happy, and liberated.